When we get to the end of Joshua and go into Judges, we find that God had given the children of Israel a specific directive, and that was as they went into the promised land and as they defeated their enemies, they were to drive them out completely. And what we found is that some cases that didn't happen. And the word tells us that sometimes the inhabitants stayed in the land, but the Israelites forced them to do hard labor. And what ended up happening was that the inhabitants of the land were there. A future generation of Israelites came up and were exposed to the idol worship and those things that God had told them to stray away from. And it became a big mess because they didn't do what God asked them to do. And maybe they thought that was some kind of compromise, that they didn't drive them out completely, but they forced them to do labor. You can't negotiate with God. There is no negotiation. When he gives you something in your spirit, when he tells you what to do, and he's very specific, those are the things you need to do, or you're going to end up with a big mess. And until you learn that lesson, it's going to get harder and harder. You can't negotiate with God. This has been your midday moment, and remember, what's about to come is greater than what's been.